Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Dear students, our today's topic is the calculation of radius of Bohrs orbit. Dear students, last video lecture में हमने डिस्कस की थी बोर्स मॉडल ऑफ एटम. वहाँ पर हमने डिस्कस किए थे वेरियस postulates of the Bohrs theory. आज का टॉपिक जो है दैट इज द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ द रेडियस ऑफ द Bohrs orbit. Now we know that according to the Bohr's theory, electron जो होता है that is present in the circular paths, and उन circular paths को हम कहते हैं orbits. So if this is the nucleus, let's consider the example of the hydrogen atom, because the Bohr's theory जो है that is applicable to hydrogen and hydrogen like species. Hydrogen like species are those species which possess the one electron. Suppose for example we have the helium 1 positive. Helium का होता है atomic number 2. This atomic number is 2. When it loses one electron, it gets converted into helium 1 positive. Similarly, we have the lithium. Lithium का atomic number होता है 3. When it loses 2 electrons, it becomes the lithium 2 plus. So इसके पास कितने electrons रह गए? 1 electron. इसके पास भी कितने electrons रह गए? 1 electron. These are called as the hydrogen-like species. So we have the examples of the hydrogen-like species. That's helium positive, lithium 2 positive, etc. So Bohr's theory जो है that's applicable to hydrogen and hydrogen-like species which possess only one electron. So how to calculate the radius of the Bohr's orbit? For that very purpose, we take the example of the hydrogen atom, and suppose this is the nucleus of the hydrogen atom having the charge Z into E. Z is the atomic number, E is the electronic charge. इसमें कितने protons हैं? 1 proton. So the charge of the proton that is equal to the charge of the electron. How many protons? That's 1. So for the hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1, and E is the charge of here. It's the charge of the proton, and this is the path, circular path, in which the electron is revolving around the nucleus with a velocity u, and m be the mass of the electron, and let its distance from the nucleus be r, and we have to calculate this distance or this radius r. So we have charge of nucleus is equal to Z into E, where m जो है that is mass of electron, u is the tangential velocity of the electron, with which it is revolving around the nucleus, and r is the distance of the electron from the nucleus. R is the distance of the electron from the nucleus. So now how to calculate this the radius of the Bohr's orbit? Now we see that electron और nucleus के दरमियान जो force of attraction, there is an electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron, and that force is given by the force of attraction. The force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron is given by Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law, which is electrostatic force जो होता है between the two oppositely charged bodies, क्योंकि nucleus का charge जो होता है that's positive and electron की charge जो होती है that's negative. So there is a force of attraction between the two, and that force is equal to the product of the two charges that is directly proportional to the product of the two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two charges. So we have the electrostatic force of attraction between the two, that is equal to, that is directly proportional to Z into E, that's the charge of the nucleus multiplied by charge of the electron and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two charges. So we have F into E, that is equal to K Z E square divided by R square. So this is our equation. First where R is constant and its value is equal to, and it is equal to K जो होता है K is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, which is called permittivity of free space. And this value, and this is equal to 9 into 10 raised power 9. 9 in 10 raised power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. This is the value of the K. So this is one type of force which is between the nucleus and the electron. Now another force which tries to remove the electron from this circular orbit, that force is called as a centrifugal force. So centrifugal force की कोशिश क्या रहती है, to move this electron from this circular path, to remove this outward. It acts as force of attraction जो होता है, the electrostatic force of attraction that acts the electron towards the nucleus, that is between the nucleus and the electron is attracted towards the nucleus, towards the center, whereas centrifugal force जो होता है, that tries to remove the electron away from the nucleus. इन दो की डायरेक्शन जो दो फोर्सेस होते हैं, उन दो फोर्सेस की डायरेक्शन जो होती है अपोजिट होती है. इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन की here the direction of the electrostatic force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus is towards the nucleus, while a centrifugal force जो होता है that acts on the electron and it tries to remove the electron from its circular orbit. That centrifugal force is given by another force which acts on the electron. Another force which acts on the electron, that is given by the centrifugal force, that's Fc, that is equal to mu square divided by R. This is the centrifugal force acting on the electron. This is number second equation. This is our first equation, this is our second equation. Now these two forces, these are equal and opposite in direction. So we have Fe, that's electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron, that is equal to the centrifugal force acting on the electron. So जितना फोर्स न्यूक्लियस इलेक्ट्रॉन पर एक्सर्ट करता है, उतना ही उस पर एक अनदर फोर्स एक्सर्ट होता है, दैट्स कॉल्ड द सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स व्हिच ट्राइज टू रिमूव द इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्रॉम द सर्कुलर ऑर्बिट. So we have these two forces, these are equal but opposite in direction. So we have Fe is equal to Fc. So we have Fe किसके बराबर है, K Z E square divided by R square, that is equal to mu square divided by R. So here you have one R and this one R, if it cancel out, it is K Z E square divided by R is equal to mu square. Now U square किसके बराबर है, U square जो है that is equal to K Z E square divided by R into M. We don't know the velocity of the electron, but we know according to the one of the postulate of the Bohrs theory that angular momentum जो होता है electron का, that is an integral multiple of h divided by 2 pi. So we have another equation here. We have MUR, that is angular momentum of electron, किसके बराबर होता है, that is equal to NH divided by 2 pi. So here you have U किसके बराबर, NH divided by 2 pi M into R, ये नीचे आएगा. अगर हम इसको स्क्वायरिंग करेंगे, so you have U square is equal to N square H square divided by 4 pi square m square r square. Suppose this is our equation third. So here we get the value of the u square. So u square I किसके बराबर आया, n square h square divided by 4 pi square m square r square. So we are going to substitute the value of the u square in equation third. We get substitute the value of substitute the value of the substitute the value of u square in equation third. We get, तो क्या आएगा, u square के बदले हम क्या लिखेंगे, that is called the n square h square divided by 4 pi square m square r square is equal to k z e square divided by r into m. This 1 and 1 m cancel, 1 r and 1 r cancel, so you have n square h square divided by 4 pi square m r is equal to k z e square, or we can write it as n square h square. इसको इसके साथ मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, दैट इज इक्वल टू द 4 पाई स्क्वायर m r k z e square. अब ये r किसके बराबर है, बिकॉज वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द रेडियस. सो r किसके बराबर आएगा, r इज इक्वल टू n स्क्वायर h स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय 4 पाई स्क्वायर k z e स्क्वायर m. दिस इज आवर फाइनल एक्सप्रेशन. अब यहाँ पर आप देखो, ये व्हाट इज दिस n इज एन इंटीजर एंड इट इज इक्वल टू 1 2 3 4. इसका वैल्यू किसके बराबर होता है, n इज इक्वल टू 1 2 3 एटसेट्रा. नाउ व्हाट इज h is Planck's constant and its value is equal to 6.6 into 10 raised power minus 34 joule second. 4 that's constant, pi that's 22 divided by 7 that's constant, k इसका वैल्यू भी हमें पता है, k is equal to 9 into 10 raised power 9 न्यूटन मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेंटीमीटर, sorry, per coulomb square. Now we have z is atomic number, and E, that is called the electronic charge, that's 1.6 into 10 raised power minus 19 coulombs, and M, that's mass of electron. Mass of electron किसके बराबर आता है, mass of electron जो होता है किसके बराबर, that's 9.1 into 10 raised power minus 31 kg. So we know all these values. If we are going to substitute these values in this equation, we get R is equal to 0.529 angstrom. But when we substitute the value of N is equal to 1 and Z is equal to 1, this is for hydrogen atom. And for hydrogen-like species, we have the this is called as Bohrs radius, that's RA. It's called as R. इसको हम लिख सकते हैं RA is equal to 0.529 angstrom. This is called Bohrs radius. Bohrs radius. This for hydrogen. This is for hydrogen atom. And for hydrogen-like species, for that we have RA is equal to 0.529 into N square divided by Z. This is a general expression for the radius of any orbit. So this was the calculation of the radius of Bohrs orbit, where we found the expression that R is equal to किसके बराबर होता है, that's n square h square divided by 4 pi square k z e square m. If you know all the values, we substitute these values and we get we get the Bohrs radius. This was first. Now we have the second. For the numerical purposes, you have to remember the value of the Bohrs radius. That's our Bohrs radius किसके बराबर होता है 0.529 angstrom units. अगर आपको कैलकुलेट करके देना होगा the radius of the suppose third orbit for the hydrogen atom or for the हाइड्रोजन एटम, बिकॉज फॉर हाइड्रोजन एटम वी हैव z इज इक्वल टू 1. वहाँ पर आप सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे कैलकुलेशन आप या ऐसे हम करेंगे. एग्जांपल हम लेंगे दैट इज कैलकुलेट द रेडियस ऑफ थर्ड ऑर्बिट ऑफ हाइड्रोजन atom. Suppose ये एग्जाम्पल है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल सो हियर यू हैव z. तो हमें पता है हमें कौन सी फार्मूला लगानी है, ये वाली फार्मूला हम लगाएंगे. फॉर दैट वी नो दैट z किसके बराबर है 1 के बराबर है. सो बट n जो है दैट्स कॉल्ड द थर्ड. किस ऑर्बिटल का हमें कैलकुलेट करके देना है थर्ड ऑर्बिटल का. फॉर दैट वी हैव द n इज इक्वल टू 3. सो यू हैव r रेडियस. नाउ इट इज r यहाँ पर r a नहीं आएगा, ये इज r. दिस वन इज r a. r is equal to 0.529 multiplied by 3 square divided by 1. so क्या आएगा दैट इज r जो है किसके बराबर दैट इज इक्वल टू 0.529 multiplied by 3 are 9. ये आप कर सकते हो कैलकुलेट पे कितना आएगा दैट्स एंगस्ट्रॉम यूनिट. दिस इज द रेडियस ऑफ द थर्ड ऑर्बिट ऑफ द हाइड्रोजन एटम. इसी तरह से आप कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो nth ऑर्बिटल का डिपेंडिंग अपॉन. तो कौन सी फार्मूला आपको याद रखनी है दैट इज r इज इक्वल टू 0.529 इंटू m स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय z. ये आपको याद रखना है. now we have to calculate the energy of the electron and the frequency of the electron. Inshallah we will do that in the next video lecture. Thank you so much.